Well, Turkey and Saudi Arabia could be gearing up to launch a ground operation in the country. That's according to Turkey's top diplomat, who said they're ready to act if a common anti-ISIL strategy is worked out. Well, he added that Riyadh is sending warplanes and possibly troops to a Turkish airbase, with Saudi officials already having arrived to inspect it. Well, the exact number of jets has not yet been revealed. Well, the airbase in question is located in Incirlik, in the city of Adana, bordering Syria. It's currently home to both Turkish and American aviation units used to launch airstrikes against the Islamic State. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by RT's Emily Sue, who's in the studio with me right now. Emily, thanks for joining us again. Well, this isn't the first such announcement, is it? But this one comes at a particularly fragile time, doesn't it?
Of course. Well, let's first talk about the timing of this announcement coming from Saudi Arabia, which is very inappropriate and very unfortunate. First, we have the ongoing Munich Security Conference, where Russia has repeatedly warned the West against further escalating the conflict in Syria. And of course, as we all know, what's going on in Syria is very complicated, with a lot of parties, all with their own interests. To name a few, you get ISIL, the terrorists. You get the U.S. backing the so-called moderate opposition forces. Russia has launched an air campaign in September at the request of President Assad. And the list goes on and on. And now you get another outsider party, Saudi Arabia, hinting at the possibility of launching a ground operation in Syria. So if that happens, obviously it will destabilize the already very unstable situation in Syria. But of course, this is not the first time Saudi Arabia has mentioned the idea. In fact, the proposal has been floated for quite some time now. Let's take a listen.
If there is any consensus among the coalition to send troops on the ground, Saudi Arabia will be ready to send the troops on the ground.
This word game is similar to claims that there is a plan B, claims that it's time to prepare ground troops. It's a slippery slope.
And now let's not forget that just 2 days ago, on Thursday, following months and months of peace talks, finally there's been some significant progress. World powers have agreed on a cessation of hostilities across the country, hopefully to be implemented in a week's time. And now already critics and Middle East watchers, they're all doubting the likeliness of this ceasefire happening. With the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, he admitted himself that this is a very ambitious plan on paper, very fragile, and saying that he's not even sure whether all the parties will commit to the ceasefire. So as you can see, this is a very volatile moment for Syria, and Saudi Arabia is making such an announcement at this critical time. Another thing is Saudi Arabia's motives in the region should also be questioned. Let's take a listen to the foreign minister.
We cannot defeat Daesh in Syria unless we bring about change in Bashar al-Assad. So when Assad goes, the fertile environment in which Daesh operates in Syria will be removed, and we can deal with them.
So as you can see there, Saudi Arabia does support the fight against terrorists, but also they're looking to overthrow President Assad's regime. So it remains to be seen if they do send in ground troops in Syria, whether they'll be fighting the terrorists or actually trying to overthrow President Assad's regime.
Certainly a key time, Emily, isn't it? Especially with that ongoing security conference in Munich as well. It'll be interesting to see the developments going on there. Emily Sue, thanks for joining us again to give us the update on that story.